The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is a reaction, both are transformed. The first half of life is devoted to forming a healthy ego. The second half is going inward and letting go of it. Shrinking away from death is something unhealthy and abnormal, which robs the second half of your life of its purpose. People will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own souls. Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become. We cannot change anything until we accept it. Condemnation does not liberate, it oppresses. Your vision will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakes. The greatest and most important problems of life are all fundamentally insoluble. They can never be solved, but only outgrown. A man who has not passed into the inferno of his passions has never overcome them. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. In each of us, there is another whom we do not know. Knowledge rests not upon truth alone, but upon error also. Thinking is difficult. That's why most people judge. Knowing your own darkness is the best method for dealing with the darkness of other people. Looking outwards has got to be turned into looking into oneself. Discovering yourself provides you with all you are, were meant to be, and all you were living from and for. A dream that is not understood remains a mere occurrence. Understood, it becomes a living experience. There is no coming to consciousness without pain. One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. The most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely. How can I be substantial if I do not cast a shadow? I must have a dark side also if I am to be whole. I don't aspire to be a good man. I aspire to be a whole man. Wholeness is not achieved by cutting off a portion of one's being, but by integration of the contraries. Midlife is the time to let go of an over-dominant ego and to contemplate the deeper significance of human existence. You are what you do, not what you say you'll do. We cannot change anything unless we accept it. The debt we owe to the play of imagination is incalculable. I shall not commit the fashionable stupidity of regarding everything I cannot explain as a fraud. The pendulum of the mind oscillates between sense and nonsense, not between right and wrong. The capacity for directed thinking I call intellect. The capacity for passive or undirected thinking I call intellectual intuition. To ask the right question is already half the solution of a problem. Where wisdom reigns, there is no conflict between thinking and feeling. To me, dreams are part of nature, which harbors no intention to deceive, but expresses something as best it can. If there is anything that we wish to change in the child, we should first examine it and see whether it is not something that could better be changed in ourselves. Nothing has a stronger influence psychologically on their environment, and especially on their children, than the unlived life of the parent. Where love rules, there is no will to power, and where power predominates, love is lacking. One is the shadow of the other. Even a happy life cannot be without a measure of darkness, and the word happy would lose its meaning if it were not balanced by sadness. It all depends on how we look at things, and not on how things are in themselves. The least of things with meaning is worth more in life than the greatest of things without it. For better to come, good must stand aside. No tree, it is said, can grow to heaven unless its roots reach down to hell. Great talents are the most lovely and often the most dangerous fruits on the tree of humanity. They hang upon the most slender twigs that are easily snapped off. Every form of addiction is bad, no matter whether the narcotic be alcohol, morphine, or idealism. The healthy man does not torture others. Generally, it is the tortured who turn into torturers.